Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And Jerry, this sort of feels like a winning recap show we're going to be doing here because something exciting has happened in
He's
Panthers land.
back.
He's back. Cam Newton. Cam Newton
I
is
can't believe
back.
it. I thought he would not come back here after the way he left and the way David Tepper and Matt Rule treated him. And just, I am shocked. I know you kept begging for it, and I was like, there's no way this is going to
Yeah, you and
happen.
I definitely have been on sort of different sides of the fence here. Not that I don't think you would have wanted Cam to come back, but you just were totally thinking that it would never happen. I was a little more optimistic, but at the end of the day, also would have been. I mean, I'm shocked. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't want him. I think we both agreed when we did our quarterback who's
Yeah.
available that he was the best available, but we were both like, yeah,
Right.
I just assumed he would not come back here from his personal feelings and from the team's personal feelings. But I think they've also written off Sam Darnold because you don't bring in Cam Newton to come in this season unless you've written him off for the rest of the year.
I think Sam Darnold is done in Carolina
I do too.
completely. I don't see. He's certainly done for this season because, like you said, you're not bringing in Cam with the expectation that Sam Darnold is going to take over for Cam when he's
Yeah.
healthy in 6 weeks. No, not happening. Um, and in fact, we actually just got some of the numbers for Cam here. So up to $10 million for the rest of the season includes 4.5 million fully guaranteed and $1.5 million roster bonus. So I'm going to assume. I think it's very realistic to assume that he obviously is not going to be probably even on the roster this week for
No.
this game. Too late. But I'm going to assume he's going to be starting in Washington next week
Oh,
or against Washington next week.
him and Ron. Oh man, you're
I mean, is
absolutely
is that not
correct.
kind of perfect? Like,
Yeah,
if he doesn't start, then what are we even doing here?
yeah,
At that point. But yeah, I mean, I love. First of all, let's just say I love it. Um, it's the last time, and we'll talk a little bit about the last, full season for Cam here and what it was and why it was. Um, but obviously, the last time we saw Cam in a Carolina uniform, it was bad.
yeah.
He had gotten the foot injury in preseason. They trotted him out there anyway, and it was terrible. He did not look good. Um, he looked slow. He was obviously in pain,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, this first of all, he has to pass a physical before he's actually on the team. But
Yeah,
with Cam, I don't have any real questions that he kept in
yeah,
shape.
right.
But let's manage expectation. He's not going to be 2015 Cam. He's going to be. But that being said, I think he's going to be a better than Sam Darnold
Yeah,
than the past few games he was. So
I think he's going to be good. Honestly, I think this is when I envisioned for Cam what I thought his perfect situation would be, it's about half a season because
hmm
I think his arm can stay strong enough for half a season. Um, now, so I think he's actually going to be pretty good. Like I think is like maybe even I don't want to say like bring everyone false hope good in terms of what this means for the future, in terms of the
hmm
next season or the season after that. But I think it's going to be really good. And I think he's going to earn a new contract somewhere, maybe not here, but somewhere next season. So I think he's going to be good. Again, it's a different offense. The offensive line is still the same. Okay. It's still a bad offensive line.
yes.
However, Cam is more creative in the pocket than Sam Darnold. Um, I think Cam is better at going through reads than Sam Darnold. He's going to get the ball out. I mean, Cam has really improved on getting the ball out quickly over the last few years. His deep passing numbers have not been as high as they were early in his career, but his accuracy has gone up a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say one thing you said that I feel Cam does so much better than Sam
Mm-hmm.
Darnold is he does seem to go through reads, especially now. Maybe
Yeah,
his first couple seasons you could say differently,
sure.
but
Yep.
now the past few seasons, with North Turner, with Bill Belichick, and everybody up in New England. I mean, he completed 65% of his passes last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
he
With
was
a bad team, honestly, with bad offensive team
yeah,
and
and
a
he's got
defense that's nowhere near as good as this defense.
correct. He's going to have weapons here. He's going to have Christian McCaffrey. He's going to have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall. Hopefully, you can break out you and Trimble now that you have someone who can go through reads. Because I think also that's part of the problem with those two guys is DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. That was it.
Plus, you add the running aspect again to the threat of the run, which was always Cam's biggest strength. He's been just kind of chilling for the last 9-10 months, just getting healthy, just being strong.
I mean, he went through training camp with New England, so it wasn't until August that he was
but I mean, he's not taking hits, is what I mean. Like he's been getting healthy, is what I mean. His body has not been on the football field, being destroyed. I guess is what I meant by it. Not that he's just been sitting at home on the couch, but he's healthy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's as healthy as he's going to be. He's healthier than any other quarterback that's going to be starting in a couple of weeks.
And he was throwing the ball deep in training camp for New England. And a lot of people just assumed he was going to get that starting job,
good.
But so
he looked good there. So,
I'm excited.
I mean, I'm excited too. If nothing else, it gives us something to look forward to for the rest of the season. And that's great because we didn't have a lot to look forward to.
Not with PJ Walker. I mean, PJ Walker, I know you said you felt sorry for him. I personally,
well, I was kind of tongue in cheek. Like, I don't feel sorry for PJ Walker. I watched PJ Walker's press conference last night, and I like the guy. And I was rooting for him, and I will root for him this Sunday. Obviously, he's the Panthers quarterback, but this is Cam Newton. Yeah, this is Cam Newton.
Cam's back, baby.
They didn't bring Cam Newton in to sit on the bench behind PJ Walker.
No.
Or Matt Barkley.
But I also think PJ Walker and Cam Newton are more similar quarterbacks than Sam Darnold and PJ Walker.
One of the questions that a reporter asked PJ last night was, when Matt Rule brought PJ in a couple of seasons ago, one of the things PJ was really excited about was being able to learn behind Cam and kind of sit behind Cam and learn from Cam. And PJ was like, yeah, it kind of sucks that didn't happen. I was really looking forward to that. Well, he's going to get his chance now. Yeah. And I'm not expecting Cam Newton to turn PJ Walker into Cam Newton Jr., but it's going to be nothing but good for PJ. Yeah. And it's just going to be so much fun. Honestly, it's going to be so much fun to watch. I am really excited about it.
I know. I am still in such a disbelief that this happened. And it was sad that it's happening on Thursday. Like you said, there's no way he's going to be able to play. Mm-hmm. And the Panthers signed Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley is probably like, oh, really, guys? Like, he's probably going to go back to the practice squad and get cut.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Rule, I watched his press conference yesterday too, and he was getting pressured by especially Jonathan Alexander, who reported this first, by the way, our buddy. He was kind of getting pressured by Jonathan about why they haven't looked at Cam, and were they going to look at Cam? Were they considering bringing Cam? Matt Rule's, I'm not talking about anybody that's not on this roster, and blah 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 blah. But you could tell Matt Rule was kind of uncomfortable with the line of questioning, and I wonder if Jonathan knew at that time that something was happening.
Yeah, that maybe he got someone in his ear saying, hey, by the way, the Panthers contacted Cam. Like, someone from Cam's camp may have contacted him and let him know. And then, he was trying to pressure him because he can't report on someone's hearsay, Yeah.
I'm excited to hear from Cam.
I am too.
I know Cam's going to be stoked to be back. Cam loves the fans here. Cam loves Charlotte. Yeah. I'm really excited for Cam.
Sunday giveaways are back. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, even if it was still going on with Sam Darnold, it hasn't been for many weeks that one has.
Nobody's even going to remember. Sam Darnold is going to be he's going to be the least remembered quarterback in franchise history, I think. Yeah, it's just going to be. Well, I want to look real quick. Let's go back to the 2018 season. So this is the last season that Cam was the starting quarterback for the Panthers for a full season, pretty much. He missed the last couple of games. Should have missed a lot more in that season. Because remember, that was the season where they started off so well, right? They were 6-2, I think. Yeah, 6-2 going into Pittsburgh. Was that a night game? National game in Pittsburgh.
And we got the doors blown off.
Yeah, 52-21. And Cam that's where he hurt his shoulder, I think, the first time. Or the second time.
Right? The second time, because Von Miller did that the first time.
That's where he got hit. I guess that's where he maybe re-injured his shoulder that season. But before that game, actually, we'll even include that game. Cam was completing 69% of his passes. Okay, this is through 9 games, 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, quarterback rating of 101. And that's just passing. I'm not even looking at the rushing. But if you want to look at rushing, 352 yards, 4 touchdowns. Okay. That's as good as the first 9 games, really, outside of maybe 2015 that Cam's had in his career. And really as good as you would want a quarterback to have.
Yeah.
After that, okay, the next 5 games that he was healthy, after the shoulder injury, still completing a high percentage of passes, but 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. 0 rushing touchdowns and only 136 rushing yards. So that's sort of the last taste in our mouth of Cam. Those 5 games, and then the next season where he was hurt.
Well, and in New England, he was playing really well until he got COVID, and then he missed a few weeks with COVID, and then he came back. And I don't think he was right after that. I think it took him a while to build up some, endurance and just, body. Because I've heard from other people that it wears you out even after you're over it. So,
yeah, I mean, so the first 3 games of that season before he got COVID, again, 68% completion, 714 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he also had 4 rushing touchdowns in those 3 games. And he had that huge game against Seattle where he had almost 400 passing yards. They lost 35-30. But honestly, coming into that season, nobody really expected anything from New England just because of how many people they had that opted out. And Cam came in there and really injected optimism and life into that team. But yeah, I mean, after that, we're just going to look at basically the stats for the rest of that season. 65% completion, less than 2,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Now he did have 8 rushing touchdowns the rest of the season. So still had the running ability, but the throwing really fell off. Now, again, look at the personnel he had. Was like Jacoby Myers or something was like his best receiver that season. And just, he didn't have a lot. He did not have a lot of weapons. He has way more weapons here.
Yeah.
Now, again, they went 7-8, I think, as a team, 7-7 with him as the starting quarterback. So for that team, I mean, not bad.
I personally am just trying to compare him to Sam Darnold the past 4 or 5 weeks, because that's what he has to be better than. That's what he has.
No worries. No worries there.
I don't, because that's that and whatever PJ Walker does. But either way, I mean, he's got to be better than both of those guys. I'm not expecting anything.
He's going to be. I mean, he's still only 32 years old. Yeah. And again, he's had more time, maybe since he started his career outside of being injured, to just be ready, you know? And I'm going to assume, given that it's Cam, that he has stayed ready, that he's stayed in shape. He's going to be in the best condition midway through a season that he's ever been in. Yeah. And I really do expect him to look really good.
Yeah. Sylvia kept told me, I can't speak here, kept bringing
Your
up.
Wife.
Yes. My wife kept saying, well, he has to pass the physical. I was like, I know Cam. Cam is not going to be eating Doritos bonbons on the couch. This guy has probably been in the gym every day. I was like, the only way he doesn't pass a physical is something's wrong with his shoulder that he just can't get
Yeah.
over. But he looked
Sylvia
good
is
in training
trying
camp.
not to talk. Sylvia is trying to keep her expectations low.
Yeah.
She's still worried. She's worried this isn't going to happen. But I got to tell you, I think this is going to happen. I mean,
Oh, yeah. At this point,
man,
it definitely
they
is.
don't. Yeah, I mean, as soon as they said that they're bringing in Cam for talks, that was it. Like imagine the PR disaster if you bring Cam in and you don't sign him if you're the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the fan backlash would be it wouldn't be worth it. You
I,
just don't bring him in at all.
I mean, they had to be worried, though, that Cam may say no, though. I hate saying it that way, but.
My understanding is that so based on what I've been reading, that Cam met with Matt Rule
Mm-hmm.
uh, either yesterday or early this morning.
Did he give him the middle
Like
finger guns for the way he was treated when he
there's
left?
been some, yeah, I'm sure there was like some communication between Cam's camp and the Panthers yesterday, but Cam and Matt talked today or last night, whatever. They talked first, right? Cam
Yeah.
and Matt Rule talked first,
Clear the air.
and then today, Cam met with Tepper and Fitterer, uh, and Joe Brady, I think.
Oh, God.
I guess just to kind of clear the air,
Yeah.
essentially. And I guess both sides liked what they heard, and here he is. But yeah, I mean, I never thought that Cam would turn the Panthers down for several reasons, but mainly because Cam wants to play.
Yeah.
Cam wants to play, and this is honestly, this is a good opportunity. Like we talked about in every episode of this show this season. The Panthers defense is too good for what we've seen from this offense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're going to get an opportunity to see what, I mean, I think at the very least, Cam is going to be an average quarterback. And that's such an upgrade
Yes, it
from what
is.
we've had. It really is. And I think, and Cam has the opportunity, the potential to be so much more than that.
He really does.
Just, yeah. And he's got some familiarity with CMC and with DJ Moore. So like, it's not like he's coming in having to learn these guys brand new. Like I imagine the timing is going to come back really quickly for him and those two guys. I expect to see Robbie step his game up.
I do too.
I think Robbie's going to look good.
Well, again, I think Robbie Anderson does not like Sam Darnold. And
Yeah.
I think his work ethic shadows that. If he doesn't like him and he's all down, he's going to be down. Cam brings up a locker room. I know there's a lot of his, flamboyancy that a lot of people don't like. Well, he's
A lot of
always.
fans don't like,
Yeah.
by the way. Now, I've never heard a single, and I'll tell my wife this, I've never heard a single player
Mhm.
say that they didn't like to play with Cam.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, the other players love it because he
Mhm.
energizes the team. He look at his practice tapes. You'll see him stretching, like pumping everybody up, wall stretching and stuff like that. I mean, I'm hoping that infectious kind of goes back to this locker room and pumps everybody up.
I don't see how it can't. I mean, just being around Cam, having, having that guy come in, that personality, that history, the fans are going to be so excited. It's going to be infectious. I mean, that stadium, the first game that Cam's out there with the home stadium, and unfortunately, I think we have more road games left than we have home games this season. But it's going to be insane. I mean, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun to watch.
All right. Do you have anything else to say before we sign off on this
I
emergency?
feel like I have so much more to say, but I don't know that it would be productive. I just can't wait. I'm like, again, I'm going to have a smile on my face all day. Like, it's just, the closer we get to next week when we're going to see Cam, the more excited I'm going to get.
Yeah, me too. I have a quarterback that I feel halfway decent that he's not going to completely ruin the game. That's
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like there's, and then it is a home game next week too against Washington. So man.
all right.
Yeah, we only have 3 home games left.
So, all right. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
And we'll be back tomorrow with our preview for Panthers heading towards Arizona to play the Cardinals. Kind of seems like not a big deal anymore. like honestly, if we lose the game against the Cardinals, I'm not going to be that depressed because I know what's coming. So, but we still want to win, and we'll talk about that game.
Yep.
All right. Until then, everyone, stay safe out there and keep pounding.